doesn't work, right?
Okay.
So after I pop Gambit ult and stuff like that, I, as Gambit myself, actually take an off angle, a side angle, and I go straight for their backline and I anti their backline as soon as possible, allowing my team to run down. Um, I don't. I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna continue because if I continue, it's gonna sound off. But I do that as Gambit. It works, and sometimes it doesn't. I've been getting shitted on for doing it. I want your opinion on it. If it's bad, if it's good, like, what do you think on that?
It's a little it depends. Good in the sense of, yes, you should be trying to get your anti and your high cooldowns onto targets that are more vulnerable. It depends how you're taking the angle, of course. If you're in an angle where you can get pressured out and killed easily, obviously it's not good. But if you're in an angle where you can still maintain your team, you're still safe enough where you can hit cooldowns but get out, yeah, it's good. That's
All right, so it actually happened on this map. So go back to where it was just at, where that entire situation. Okay, so pause right here. Free cam. Just lift it up from dark a little bit. All right. So let's say the team was a little farther back on the stairs where dark is at. I would pop ult, and then the dark, I would cut straight right, and I would go to the side stairs. So
these
cut
ones
straight right, yeah, right here. I'd go
probably
right here.
not good.
I'll take this angle. Okay.
I'm thinking more. The problem is, so you're describing this as your team is like here, you're back here somewhere, and the other enemy team's here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. The main problem is, well, what are they going to do when you gambit ult? Depends on the fight, of course, like their ult economy and their comp. But normally they're going to disengage to here. You're going to appear here, but like to hit them, you're going to have to be here. And now you're just like right in their front line. Unless you know you're good on sustain, but also kind of think of the angle of your ult. Your ult wants to get angled because obviously your team wants to run onto their team. So if you're here and their team's here, you have to maintain like a line of sight of your team and their team as they're obviously getting closer but chasing them. So you want to maintain this line of sight, or not line of sight, but like looking at this, and like you're going to be like, let's say they're pushing in, you're going to be looking at them like this, and then once you get to here, you're just going to be in their team, so they can really punish you for this. I was thinking more, let's say, even if you're here, you could dash up to this high ground, and as your team's pushing in, you can more play like here and go for it. Because now, one, you're at a safe angle, you can still hit their back line, but you're at an angle where you can see your team easily, but they can't pressure you. If you do it here, the other team can just walk on you, and they have an easy time pressuring you. But if you were, for instance, doing it from high ground, where you're boosting your team in from here, then it's a bit different. That make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense, yeah.
Cool. So I really like the idea. That is what you should be doing. You just have to be thinking of safer angles that you can get higher value from. That's similar, mind you, if you're playing like Hela, for instance, like, would you rather be like shooting them from an angle like here or from an angle like here? Kind of matters on the angles. It's also harder to land your anti explodes on shields but doesn't go through shields, correct? Oh, sorry, explodes on shields and goes through shields.
It goes through?
Does it go through?
I don't think so, no.
No? Okay, I thought it did for some reason. I could be wrong. But regardless, you're going to want an angle where you can actually, like, obviously, the same reason why you take angles as Hela or whoever, like, if you're looking at me and you're usually looking at shields, whereas you're looking at an off angle, if you're on a stronger off angle, that isn't really where their core is going to be positioned, you're going to be able to hit backline easier. What should we be doing right now?
Getting out of the invisible.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Just kite away.
Ball in the face, kite away.
Yeah, mind you, very early rocket ult. If you are rocket ulting, you're probably putting it maybe on this wall, so at least your team can take some angles aggressively. But like they shouldn't be ulting here. They oh my, was that his whole help bar that just left?
Yeah.
Yeah, we caught him out and pounced on him.
Okay, good kill. Mind you, they shouldn't be ulting here. They should just be backing up. I don't know what this guy's doing. He's zombie walking. He should have just kited. Their whole team just kites away. And then they should be using this aggressively after your ult ends.
Yep. That's a good.
But still, just kite away. Like we pretty much just won the fight. Like, mind you, they have a better ult economy than we do. But still, we got a free kill. We forced out a better ult because Invis ult is better than rocket ult. All we have to do is back up and we win. I mean, and their strangers just feeding for no reason. But like, as long as we don't run into them and like die, we won.
Yeah, makes sense.
Also, no, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say it's easier for them to now make a play because they're an invis where you can't see them, but you went for it anyway.
This is exactly what happened. I didn't see it coming.
Yeah. I just wasn't gonna say it once it already happened. Then it feels like I wasn't predicting it. Should be TPing. Strange is saved. Probably should TP'd. Mainly because you guys have to now hard walk through them, and this is just gonna be a pain in the ass. Yeah. You obviously don't touch. Yeah. No waterfall map. Unlucky. I like the waterfall map. It's good for macro, at least. Okay. What's a good characteristic of this map? What do we know about this map compared to the other two maps?
Open area.
Beautiful. Open area. What comps are better in open areas?
Poke.
Yep, poke. We should be swapping over to a more poke comp depending on our ult charge. I mean, Scarlet's not the craziest, but yeah, like Phoenix here, really strong. Like just going on to poke characters is just smart for this map. Mind you, like dive is really strong on the inside area. Poke/brawl is really good for the last map we're on. Actually, all comps are kind of good on the last map because there are strong angles. They're strong. They're like it's close quarters, but also has longer corridors. But yeah, this is very poke heavy. All right, this is a little more advanced, I guess. If we are alt tracking and we know they have Gambit alt, what do we have to do here? Actually, sorry, what do we have to do? Did you get pulled? Oh, you did get pulled. Okay. Still, you want to run back to team. What should we be doing here as a team?
Preparing for the Gambit ult.
Yeah, we should be playing slow and waiting for Gambit ult, which we just kite into a nice closed area, so it's harder for them to rush onto us because it's harder for them to push through this choke. We should also be playing slow, trying to take damage so we can build ult charge because we're just not going to beat a Gambit ult.
Gotcha. So I shouldn't be on point at all yet at this point.
No, we have to like they win, like their ult economy wins this fight. They have 3 ults, we have 1 at the moment. Until we start to get a Gambit ult, we're just losing this fight naturally. Yeah, so we either have to play slow enough or we're just like hard rushing and hoping our thing can ult Gambit before he ults and then kill him. Which, mind you, he's going to ult from back here, so I can't imagine that ever happens.
Yeah.
So our only option is to play slow and take damage. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
I said this is something that we should know based on the results of the last round.
Mm-hmm. Try not to ult. We knew we had to lose this fight. We're okay. Dry fights aren't bad. You guys know what dry fights are? Yeah, maybe.
No.
No ults.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, just not using ults. Conserving ults, maybe using 1 ult to force out 2 or 3. Trying to gain an ult advantage for the next fight is the dry fight. Okay. So like if they're Gambit ulting first and we have no answer, just try not to ult. There's just no need. Okay, what do we know about this fight?
They've got advantage.
We know.
Our ult economy is decent, and theirs isn't as decent.
True. Our time is really good, meaning we didn't just build Gambit ult and we can do exactly what they just did to us.
Mm-hmm.
This should be a 1 fight 90% of the time. Angela Switch not bad here. It's just you don't really have any objective besides like you don't really play Angela for Spider-Man because obviously Spider-Man's movement's just much more fast than yours. Yeah, there we go. Much more fast than yours. You're obviously not peeling Thing. You're not really doing much to Strange. Just not really too much to do. They're also playing Invis Bucky, which kind of counter you a bit. Bucky less, but Invis obviously a lot. But still, I think better than Thing, just naturally. Good. Okay, what should we be doing with this ult?
Running down their sports.
Beautiful. Run down supports. No need to, mind you, Bucky isn't actually too bad of a target. He's pretty stationary. And he was pretty far up, so it's not a bad kill to get first. But we want to get into the sports as quick as possible.
So was it good that I went for them?
Yeah, no, it was good. That was a play you'd want. I'm good with that. Like, I thought you were Angela at first. This is, mind you, this is a little risky because you don't have as much follow up as you probably should. But yeah, like we want, like if we had, for instance, like a Psylocke instead of here, or Daredevil, Psylocke, whoever, and then our Angela would just, all 3 of you would just hard dive their backline with ult and just insta kill. This is what you should be doing. We need everyone to be kind of here with you. Also, remember, you guys do have a damage boost, so if Emma grabs someone, you can probably just one tap them if they're squishy. So, if like even you just run on Bucky, you should be able to just one tap them. I mean, you grab someone, Invis does damage with a damage boost, they're just insta dead. You guys do insane damage. So like you guys don't like our dive, whatever our dive is, Psylocke, Daredevil, Angela, and Gambit can all just hard engage, and you guys can just kill people in the front line. That Gambit all is just really broken. Like you don't need like 6 of you don't need to shoot the same target. Like whoever can get on backline gets on backline. Everyone else can just start to like pick apart the front line. It's not like, mind you, target power is good. Like having 6 on a target is good, but like you have a damage boost. You don't need 6. You can send who can hit who. Like if you're out of range, like obviously Emma can't hit their backline here. Like there's like when we all
get there.
like dive characters can get here, but like we're not expecting Emma to be like killing this. We're expecting Emma to like kill any of these targets. We're not expecting Invis. Well, maybe Invis could shoot here, maybe Bucky could shoot here, but like Emma doesn't really have to force it as much. Definitely, if you guys have targets that you can kill. But that being said, I still want more people on backline. Good, I like this. Okay, you don't want to be losing, but I do like what you're trying to do.
Where we fell apart because both healers went to heal him, so
Okay,
they
well,
pushed us.
I'll put it this way: you should be taking no healing. You should get healed. Like one healer should have to look at you for like half a second. Like once you already lost health and he went and grabbed Mega, you just back up and you disengage. You wait and then you can re-go if you want to. But you're not like you drawing too much attention is very bad. And dive tanks have to know like how much they can actually eat for damage. Like if you watch like a pro dive tank, he's barely getting healed all game. Or if he is, he's getting healed in very easy spots, like very convenient spots. If you're like needing to get healed in like a angle that your drags too much support time, it's gonna draw a lot of resources out. How did you get Bucky hooked?
I got Bucky hooked.
Yeah, true.
Okay. That also, yeah, if you need healing 2 corners away and you need healing 2 corners away, probably lose the fight. I would inverse, or sorry, not inverse. Play slower. Walk back around this corner. You guys don't really need to poke them. You can, I guess, but it's not really needed. All you're doing is giving attack, because currently they're attack because we're defending the point, a chance to get a Bucky hook. Whereas we get a Bucky hook, it's much harder, like and less impactful, I guess, because they have to rush into us anyway. We can't really just rush into them. I would more back up around this corner, wait for them to walk up, hard engage with an Emma ult, and kind of take it from there. Maybe you combo Bucky depending if they use an ult or not. Maybe you try to get a, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen this ult get value outside of like a rank game. But you could try to use that one.
Gotcha.
Big thing in this fight is we are down 1. We need to try to sustain as long as possible. The only scary part is once we go down 2 or 3, make sure you don't ult, because we have 0 kill pressure. So even if we invis ult here, it's going to be really hard to get a kill. Our only kill pressure is, I don't think this is much kill pressure, Scarlet. So if you invis ult here, we might just get rolled. I'm assuming we do just because of how we lose the map, because I assume we have pretty bad ult economy coming in after this. But I'm not sure. Oh, maybe not. You don't ult. Okay, how do we lose this next fight? We should have pretty good ult economy. Oh, I guess that Gambit roll? Look, let's watch. Okay, so you get pulled in. Okay, so yeah, it's a bit of a feed. You just have to wait. Like you're down 1, your team doesn't want to push in. Just don't get seen. Just wait on that off angle. Okay, so we have to ult here. It makes sense, but now we're in a really bad ult economy. All right, trigger. That was a big ult from them. The only way we can get to point is going to be... Oh, we TP. Okay, cool. What should you have done? You're on this character. You have to have a ton of time with this character to ever play this person. That's my assumption, at least.
Portal bomb here.
Yes. You have to be surprised. I just assume you have a lot of time with this character because I don't see many people play it.
I
You
wouldn't
100% want to
say-
surprise them with the bomb.
I wouldn't say a lot of time, but yeah, no, you're absolutely.
I
correct.
mean, I don't see anyone ever play Scarlet. I
Yeah,
would have
it's a-
probably had you guys.
it's a pick that
Put it down.
I'm using for the Spidey, but you know, obviously through this VOD review, we're seeing
Yeah.
what characters are completely useless and what are more viable against a team.
I would put
conflict like this.
If you are gonna portal bomb, put it straight down.
Okay.
Like, because we're trying not to block any line of sight. Like, we want this bomb going off right here,
Mhm.
where it can just hit everyone. So yeah, you pop it at what? It's a 3-second charge. You pop it. You pretty much make the countdown. As Scarlet, when he places portal, just right on top of him and you just nuke him. Portal bomb can get a lot of value. If you guys portal bomb, you probably can get lots of kills. But you just have to do it.
Yeah, I didn't even think of it. I'm not
Also,
gonna lie.
this is last fight of last point. Make sure you ult as Gambit.
Should I have ulted before the TP?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, if we portal bomb, no. Reason being is because you guys were at 50%, and they are at 90. You need to win next fight as well. So you have to trust that portal bomb gets value. If it gets no value, then you're ulting right away. But yeah,
Because
that's kind of how you have to play it.
because we were like in a corner, so I couldn't ult everyone, and I think I dashed out of the point
try
to
to?
see everyone, but they had invis ult, so now I couldn't see anymore. So like,
Yeah, that's fair. It's an awkward situation. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Like I understand. Like yes, you want space when you're gambit ulting, and obviously you're portaling onto a point, so it's hard. I mean, the good answer is you hope your other ults get value, so you don't have to ult right away, and then once invis ult ends, you can get some value. In that situation, you just kind of have to try to get the best value you can.
okay, I should have tried to survive as much as I could.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna go over spawn holding because we're obviously not spawn holding currently, and you guys should be spawn holding. Do you guys know how to spawn hold? Has anyone got over it with you, or have you seen it?
We haven't had anybody go over it, but I believe it's like 3 tanks to 4 tanks.
Yeah,
Can you
I'll do a deep dive on it.
Thank you.
So, first off, this is one of my favorite maps because actually, sorry, my favorite points. I get to do this. I really like this point of view. Okay, so first off, comp wise, there's like tons of different comps. A really good one is, mind you only do this on Spider Islands, is a triple dot. So all spawn hold comps are 3/3 comps. Sometimes you'll throw in like a Bucky, but or like a Mr. Fantastic maybe, but almost always 3 tanks, 3 supports. First off, you are playing. There's 3 different versions. There is triple like main tank and triple off tank, and then there's a mix. So you're going Groot, very big for it. Emma, very good, and Mag, very good. Sometimes you can also play Thing in here. Thing's actually pretty solid for spawn holds because you're mitigating damage. Those are for when you're playing more of a stable comp. When you do a comp like that, you're playing. So you're playing any of like the shield tanks plus a Groot plus a Thing maybe. Depends how you guys want to do it, but those 5 characters, I'd have at least 2 shields. Usually don't play Strange to start because you should be having the first person dies go over. This is my favorite one. You do those 3. Actually, no, this is my second favorite one. And then you do Loki, Adam, and Rocket. You play Loki, Adam, Rocket, so you have a bunch of reses. The whole point is to get reses off, obviously. Loki copies Adam, you get more reses. First fight is always going to take place right here. It should go as far as here. By the time Cart gets to this corner right here, everyone should have been dead. You should all have died on Cart, so you can get a teleport around here. Mind you, here, you need to all die in cart as well. If cart gets past this corner, you're not going to get time for a third touch. So you need to die within these like kind of spots, because the whole point is to get 3 fights before point hits here. So this is for all the comps. So what happens is, actually, I'm going to have you guys just play the easier one. There's the die version where you play Angela, Cat, Venom. Really difficult. No real point to do it. It's really good, but you play Angela, Cat, Venom, Jeff, Rocket, Ultron, and you just play really far back. You play on Spider Islands. Too much to have to go over. It's just not needed for how efficient it is. But I'd definitely be playing Groot, Mag, Emma, or Groot, Mag / Emma, and maybe Cap, Venom, or Angela. The whole point is to have constant tank pressure on cart. One of your tanks, your dive tank / your, I guess it'd be Mag, would be contesting this high ground. Just to make sure you guys can't get stomped on, and everyone else is playing this low ground. All your supports, your Loki, your Adam, and your Rocket are playing down in this low ground. The whole point is just to build ults. Once you get an Adam ult from either Loki or Adam, you rotate to obviously a safe space to res, wherever that may be. Back here is actually a common one as well. You res, and then everyone sprints back onto point to stall point out longer. The whole point is to just get like 5, 6, 7 fights within first point, just because you're spamming reses. And obviously a rocket respawner as well.
Sounds extremely
Any questions
to go up against.
Yes.
Oh, it's so fun. Yes, it gets banned from like pugs. We have like a pug server, yeah, and it gets banned.
Damn.
No one likes this. But if you want to win, this is what you should be doing.
Okay.
Very strong. It's been done forever. They used to do, or in pro play used to see the spawn hold here. Oh, sorry. Here. Pretty bad, pretty useless, because people learned what like Moon Knight was, or like an off angle was, and it just gets crushed real easily. The Adam, Loki, Rocket one is my favorite. It's the one I always do. By far the best.
Are there
Yeah, I would highly recommend.
Are there many more like maps with
Every
strats
single
like this?
convergence or convoy. Every convoy.
Would it be
You can.
all right if we go over some of those just so we have more plays in our bag?
Yep. Yeah, I'll go
'Cause
real
we've
quick.
got about
You need to
25
die
minutes.
around here. Yeah. You need to die around there by this pothole. You shouldn't be. If you die after, you're just throwing, like, you have to do, if you don't do the comp right and die in the right spots, you're just going to only get 2 fights in, and then it's useless. Not useless, but it's just not as worth. You need to die probably, like, you're going to be teleporting either on point, depending how early you guys die. You need to be teleporting probably before point crosses here, because you need enough time to be able to touch before it gets to here. Yeah, I'll go over on the other maps.
Nice. I think this would be good to kind of
Don't mind my nice ranked grind from last season.
It happens.
rank.
It happens.
I do not play this game that much anymore. I mostly coach, so please don't judge that. Midtown, Yig is the worst one for it. Okay, the reason Yggdrasil is the worst for it is, so when you're on a 3-3 comp, obviously you have no DPS. So when you have no DPS, long range pressure is going to be low, because you have low poke damage. So when you're playing open lanes, your comp's going to be a lot weaker. The big thing about your comp being weaker in open lanes in Yggdrasil is the whole map is open lanes. Like, main is really, really open, where other maps have much easier access to like cover. So this map is really open. There's a few ways you can do the spawn hold. This is probably the one where it's 50-50. I know like half the top EU teams don't actually hold this one. I know Old Citadel didn't actually spawn hold this map, but VP does. Actually, no, does VP? No, VP doesn't actually either. This one's a bit harder to do, but it's still much better. You only get 2 fights though. It's still much better than most holds. Or you could just do a normal front to back hold, which isn't bad either. You could just play a Groot comp on this one. You could go like Loki, Mantis, Adam. You can still put the Rocket instead of the Mantis, but either one's fine. You just play like Groot, another tank, and then maybe like a Bucky or a Phoenix or something like that, and you just play this corner. And you eventually do have to TP back, but you just play really slow with Groot, and try not to take too much poke, because your comp's really good at sustain and frontline like pressure, but not as good as angles. Mind you, the big scary part, at least, is this angle is pretty good for like a Hello or a Phoenix, so you have to be aware of this angle. if you are playing comp like that. If you are going to spawn hold, you do the same comp as before. And there's like 4 different ways people try to do it. Some people try to hold like this room and like hold back through here with supports. Some people try to hold through here and play through here, and one tank keeps touching. I think both those are pretty bad. I like just playing front to back. One plays cart, 2 of them play cart maybe, and one person plays a little farther back. And your supports play up on this high ground. You break this so you can see more, and you just play high ground as supports. It's the same thing where you're playing like Loki, Adam, going for double res. You can still play other supports like Invis, Luna, and more just play for alts, but I really like the res play. It's really, really brutal if done right. We had one game where it was a 1 fight differential on 3rd point, like whoever won last fight won the map. And this was 2 Ignite teams, mind you. And the stat line was like, the entire other team was 10 and 12, and my team was like 50 and 5, something like that. The whole team, like the stat line was just insane. You'd think it was a murder, but it was 1 fight difference because the other team just played Adam Loki Mantis. So like you get to lose pretty much 2 fights for every 1 fight they lose and still be even, like 2 or 3 fights because you just have that many lives. It's really, really strong. Definitely when you play with the group.
Are there any other plays other than the res comp that are prominent right now?
That are for spawn holding?
Well, I guess other than
you also spawn
holding or
for plays. Yeah, I'll show you. I don't have a anyway. I haven't played much. This one maybe no. I need a Hology map. Yeah, I need a Hology map. Someone give me a replay code. A Hology.
Okay. See if I can.
I've only played a few games.
Gotcha.
I sent you a DM with the Hology element.
Oh, you beat me to it.
Perfect. Okay. Let me. This is the one I do constantly. Okay. I'm gonna go over. Yeah, I'm gonna hit the macro pretty hard if I can for this map as well. Okay. Good. So, okay. Let me go. I want to go before setup. I don't want anyone on mine. There we go. Okay. So this map, normally what you're going to see on this map is you're going to see 1 or 2 people holding the high ground. You're going to see like 1 person over here, maybe play low ground, maybe someone on high ground. There's going to be, they're mainly going to be around these 3 spaces. When they get pressured hard from main, these people usually drop and they kind of play front to back, and maybe they curl around this corner. If the other team pushes through high ground, maybe you kind of have people on point that play below and some people high ground. Normally, you're always going to want to have people on this high ground when you're defending, just naturally. How I like to attack this point is there's 2 different ways. If you have rocket, it's easy. You give everyone rocket jump pad. You have 6 people come this way, and all of you boost through this door, and you have a hit scan who just sits on this high ground and just. I'll show the lanes, but they can't take this space because you just have 6 people. 5 of them like rush over to here, maybe 4, and like a support and a Hela or a Phoenix stay on this high ground. But 4 people push off this high ground. Normally, what's going to happen, or what should happen, is if you have your Hela Invis here and all your others, your 4 here, their team they only have 2 spots to go. They can either go into this space or this space. I'd say it's like 80% chance they go onto this angle, which if they go onto this angle, and let's say you're playing like a cap Psylocke kind of comp or like a dive comp or even like a brawl comp, you have your Hela and let's say your Invis or whatever it may be, Mantis, play this lane, and you have the other 4 people rotate this way. This bridge is usually broken, and you drop on them and you hit them as 6 here with the Hela off angle. Same if they come this way, that's fine. You just take point and you force them to try to walk into you. But I like to send 6 onto this high ground. If you don't have rocket, can't do jump pads, it's fine. Play like 4 characters that can take high ground, like Cap, Psy, Hela, Invis, Loki, something like that. And you can play Mag or Emma, and Mag or Emma just walk low ground with 1 support. And you put 4 high ground, you put your main tank, your shield tank, and 1 support low ground. And 2 of you just walk through this lane, and 4 of you take the high ground. It's pretty much the exact same thing, except obviously these 2 can't just jump to high ground, they go to point. That's my favorite strat in there. This is actually my favorite map to do macro. Right after Symbiote. All the convergence maps are really fun. So I'll just go over the macro at this point. Second point, depends on your comp, but attack or defense. So let's say you lose the point and you're coming back, you need to break this wall and take some sort of, at least like 3 or 4 people need to have some sort of representation like in this high ground area, because if you control here, you control a lot of lanes. I haven't gone over lanes, have I? I don't think so. So most maps have 3 lanes. So for this map, it's like 1. This is considered 1, 2, and then 3. So there's 3 lanes in all maps. If you control the center lane, you have access to all the outside lanes. So most people kind of completely ignore this 3rd lane. Some people will send like a Hela or whatever and flank this area, which is pretty normal. But most people just ignore this whole area unless they're like just walking up through here, and they just play on this far right lane. If the other team, for instance, like let's say we're attacking and we put 4 people in here and maybe 2 on this lane. If they walk through this, inverse. If they walk through this space, you now get to either drop on them or hit their backline for free, or you get to kind of cut them in half and drop on them in the front pretty easily, while still having like a support or like a range DPS be pretty safe on this high ground, and their whole team's just kind of stuck low ground. Same for defense. If you just walk main through here, and they play this high ground, they can do the same thing to you. So you're going to want to break through this wall and walk in here and take space this way.
Huh.
Yeah. Teams are finally doing this a bit more, but this is very, very important. For the first, like 10 months of the game, no one really played this space, and it's just super overpowered. But yeah. And then third point's not anything crazy. You just want to make sure you have some kind of control of this 1 lane, because obviously mid is huge and there's no real 3rd lane on this map. But once you start playing like dive and like hella comps and things of that nature, lane control is just really important. We just haven't really been on comps that have important lane control. So like it's kind of hard to go over lane control if like we don't even have like something that can play it. But lane control is like my favorite thing to go over. And then the other map is Spider Islands. I don't have their profile open. Maybe. Thank you. Oh, just a lucky pull. I didn't think Syphon might have it. Okay. So spawn hold for this map. It's the same concept, except you're holding and trying to die before here. You're teleporting to around here and not trying to die past like here. And then you should be able to get your 3rd point here. Big thing about this comp the same thing about this comp is, remember how it's kind of weak in longer lanes because the other team's going to have pretty high damage. Usually like Moon Knight Storm is how you break spawn hold. So they're going to have really strong and long range damage. So you're not really good at long angles. So that's the good part about winning the 3rd fight is obviously this building. I want the building to break. There we go. So this building will obviously break, and once it breaks, you have really good access because you can walk up to here and contest this space really well. So even though you don't have good range, you have a really easy comp in holding like close angles in close space. And if their comp is like normally going to be, the best comp for spawn break is like Groot Emma, Moon Knight Storm, maybe like Invis Gambit now. Yeah, that sounds good. So if you play close angles, you're just going to beat them. So once you are able to take this high ground and kind of control a lot of space, it's really hard for them to push in on this 3rd point. You just have to make sure you win this 3rd fight.
Okay.
I said it's the most for there. I would definitely start working as main things. I would definitely start working on hybrid comps with Hela, Phoenix, and then like a dive tank and a dive DPS. Do you guys have a code where you do that by chance? If not, that's fine. I can pick a map and I can go over angling and how you kind of want to pressure it.
Hela Phoenix, right? I don't think
That's fine. I'm just going to steal things from him. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get more into running specific meta comps. That seems to be.
It's just.
Seems to be one thing
It's a
we're really
lot
missing,
easier to understand.
A well-rounded comp.
It's not even. Yeah, it's not even meta comps. Like obviously meta comps help, but it's more about like comps that flow together. Even if they're not meta, like as long as a comp flows together and has like a good neutral win condition, points where they're actually trying to get high value. Like for both these comps, I mean, these are very easy. They're going to be taking angles. They're going to be trying to pressure. This team obviously has triple support. Yes.
In the team composition, something we absolutely need like a dry winning comp.
You don't absolutely need to, but all meta comps have some kind of way to win, some kind of skill expression to like be able to win the neutral. It's not like all the good characters are characters that can put pressure in that neutral. So like it's like oh, there's a good word for it. I forget the word, but like they kind of mean the same thing. Like having a neutral win condition means it's a meta character. Like meta characters and meta comps just naturally have neutral win conditions, if that makes sense.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Which is pretty important, but yes, you could play there. There are some times where you could play an attack on like a convergence map, and you could just play 4 ults. You just like one of your supports just doesn't heal. You just play like whatever support you want the ult for, like a Gambit ult. You just let the Gambit only heal, and then just sprint Gambit ult into the other team, and you just play 4 ult. But it's not really, you're not playing a comp just 4 ult a lot of the time. It has to have some kind of neutral win condition, because also neutral win conditions create ult advantages where you're forcing the other team to have to ult first, and if they have to support ult first, most of the time you're going to have some kind of ult advantage during the fight. Okay, sorry, I don't need to play this. Okay, for instance, I just wanted to show the angling on a map. So, and what's it called? Symbio is not a good map for it. So on like a map like this for team play, you're going to want to understand kind of what your comp is. So if you're on like a dive comp, you're going to want to send your dive to like clear, let's say you're on cap side, your cap side come and clear this angle. You're going to, if you have a Hela, your Hela is going to want to play some kind of angle that has good range that can also see the rest of the map. And then your core is going to want to play somewhere that is pretty stable. Depends if they're on dive. If they're on dive, you're going to want to play like somewhere kind of bunkered, like somewhere in here is a really good spot to bunker. If they're playing more poke, you're going to want to just kind of cut down on lines of sight of what they have. So here obviously is a bit weaker because they're going to have a good line of sight like through here once this tree breaks and stuff like that. Angle wise, so all maps, I hate this map for this reason. Yeah, this is whatever. Actually, this is like a pro level lobby. I'm going to imagine yeah, we'll go right before this fight. You can just see the angles for Hela. You're almost always going to be separated from the team. Mind you, this is just a random ranked game, but it's still a high level game. Like they just have to take these angles. Your Hela wants to be connected with the support, taking this angle. This isn't optimal, but this is a lot closer to what you should be trying to get. You should be almost always trying to get some kind of off angle with Hela. And then also, since this lane is disconnected, their Hela has to contest this, or obviously Red's Hela is just going to win the game. So Blue has to contest this angle. But because their Hela is isolated and Red has a healer with him, he's going to win this duel most of the time. Looks like they 2v1 him, but still. I just want to point out like how you're supposed to like take these angles. And mind you, if you're on like, let's say Red team was on like Cap Psi, now instead of whatever this is, their main plays slow. Like let's say they're on Invis Mag here. Their Invis Mag just AFK and kind of poke a little, and the Cap Psi rotate around and hit this angle really hard and clear more space for Hela. So then Hela is able to rotate around the map more and be able to cut off even more lines of sight for Blue team. So Cap Psi is kind of just clearing this angle completely, and then Hela has complete control over this angle, the Red Hela, and then Blue has to like rotate even farther away, and then Cap Psi continue a rotation and then hit them, something like that. Just wanted to give an example of kind of like how you'd play those comps. Let's see. We got 10 minutes left. I don't think we didn't do last. Was last card important? It was Symbiote again. Do you have a map? Any other scrim maps we'd want to look at real quick?
Let's see.
Or any like maps in general, like going over specific like how you play a map.
Is it okay if you look at the map that came out with Daredevil?
Yeah.
Like where you're, yeah.
Yeah, we can check it out. I'm gonna steal from Sci-Fi again.
Yeah, I don't have anything specific, but yeah, if you guys have, anything, any questions you want to ask or stuff like that, we've got limited amount of time, but now is the time to do so.
Yeah, I'll go over first point in like 30 seconds. High ground, most important thing in the game. If you control this high ground, you pretty much just win. Holy shit! Sorry, they capped in 3 minutes. That's insane. Sorry, that's actually crazy. But that's besides the point. This high ground is insanely important. Whatever you have, you need a comp that can contest this, whether it's dive characters or hit skin characters, or like range characters. You need to control this high ground. It's the most important part of first point. I'm going to assume, we'll go through here. These two are just going to hard int onto this high ground. Oh, no, they just leave the high ground. Okay, that doesn't help my point at all. Besides the point, make sure you clear this high ground first. If they have like a Hello or an Amor sitting here, they're just going to get really easy access to your backline in this point. Second point, make sure you push up. So whenever you push up, you take space, like after a fight. And if you take that space, they have to fight back through that space to kind of get back to point. I'd suggest instantly trying to come, like once you cap first point, if they have a long spawn, instantly trying to take as far as you can, like trying to get up to here on this high ground. Because this point's a real pain if you're trying to wrap around, just because they have just easy high ground. Like whoever controls this high ground controls this whole point throughout the whole wrap. So it's really difficult to push. Third point's kind of, I don't know. Third point's kind of weird. Third point's usually just like a roll. Defense is really hard for third point because there's no real like angles for it. It's kind of just, it's straight, but like this building's pretty open. This area's pretty open. I don't really have anything specific for third point, I'll be honest. Questions? We got 7 minutes of questions.
Hey, anyone here got anything they want to ask before we wrap this up?
Yeah, just real quick. How viable is Hulk in these in the season?
Hulk is almost never really that viable. As someone who only plays Hulk, oh wait. Sorry, that doesn't help either. As someone who almost only plays Hulk, Hulk is pretty much never viable. As fun as he is, he's not that good.
Okay.
Unless they're playing like really heavy dive, or you want to play like full dive, maybe you can get played. But he's not like, all the other tanks just get so much more value. Like, why would you play Hulk when you can play Emma, Mag, Angela, Venom, Cap, like all 5 of those, Groot. Those 6 actually, yeah, are just so much stronger, like naturally than Hulk. It's really hard to get value. There are some instances where you can play Hulk. Are you a Hulk one trick?
Pretty damn close.
Like I've coached. Where is he? I thought I saw him. Cart's a Hulk one trick as well. I coached him last season, but even him, he hasn't been playing Hulk that much. It's just not that viable this season.
Yeah, I've been finding myself on other heroes this season a lot more often than not.
Yeah, it's just like this is probably the best Hulk like main in the game, and he's even playing Hulk. This is how much he's playing Hulk in ranked. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this season is just not that viable. You can against full dive and with full dive, but even still, there's probably better options.
Did you say Cap is a better option?
Yeah. Cap's probably one of the best options. Cap Psy,
yeah,
super meta. All of EU's just running Cap Psy.
Yeah, he and I usually duo dive a lot with Psy Hulk.
Yeah, Hulk's just, it's too slow. And he doesn't really, like, Cap, Venom get to draw so much aggro and so much attention. Hulk really doesn't get to do the same. Like, if you grab too much attention as Hulk, you're just going to get hard CC'd and blown up. Yeah. Or like Cap and Venom have instant disengage abilities. Cap has to obviously wind his jump up. Or sorry, Hulk has to obviously wind his jump up. Mm-hmm. So it's just a bit difficult. Yeah, any other questions?
Let's say like Mag and Emma are both banned. I know that's probably rare, but if they're both banned, like what would your default comp be? Say on, I don't know, like a good poke map.
A good poke map? You could run full dive with poke. There is meta comps that involve, mind you, it's weaker now, but there are comps that involve Helen Namor, with double dive comps, where the dive characters are just distracting, like Venom, Cap are just diving backline or diving the team and kind of holding space, and then you're not sending in, but you're holding like lines of sight and angles with your poke. You could also just go full dive at that point as well. It's not too crazy. And Strange isn't bad. Strange is definitely playable. He's just weaker than the other two. And mind you, if Emma and Mag are banned, then Strange gains a ton of value. Or you could just also play Groot comp. Like you could play Groot Strange, you could play Groot with a dive character. You don't necessarily need a shield. If you don't have a shield, you need to be like your backline, your squishies need to be very aware of line of sight.
If the enemy plays the 3 tank and 3 support,
yes,
I think you said the best counter to that is like a Moon Knight, a Storm, and Angela. I think you said.
Moon Knight, Storm, Angela can be played actually in replace of the Emma, but normally it's Groot Emma, but you could do Groot Angela, and then you just play meta support backline usually. Invis Gambit's fine. Supports aren't as important for that.
Is Squirrel Girl too? Because it's a big burst of damage, or are you just gonna boost their healer's ult?
Usually not enough kill pressure, and the ult doesn't usually get enough value. Because Moon Knight, like the whole point of Moon Knight is a combo with Groot. So yeah, it's not really too big of a deal. Like Squirrel Girl's not really that great. Some people will play Squirrel Girl. There's some comps where like there's a few spawn breaks where you play like Mag, Mantis, another support, and then 3 DPS, and sometimes Squirrel Girl gets played in that if like Groot's banned. Not really. Like Squirrel Girl's not that like viable.
Covered.
Last question, I guess, from me. What would be a good comp to play if Gambit or for our backline, if we're going up against Dive, if Gambit or Invis happens to be banned?
Easy answer is triple support Mantis Adam with Invis, or with Loki, or with those two are probably the best. You could also do Rocket if needed. That's probably the easiest way to deal with it. If Invis is banned, Gambit isn't as important. Invis is more, even if both of them are banned. You could also just play Loki Mantis with heavy counter dive, or heavy dive of your own, or very much anti dive, because both of them have pretty good responses. But like Loki Mantis Adam, you could just like hop onto triple support if they're really hard diving and you don't want to like try to kill backline. I said it's probably your best option. Like Loki, Mantis, Adam, Groot, Bucky, Emma. I mean, you don't really want to ever dive into that.
So does Cloak and Dagger, do they not have a like very high value in this season?
No, not really. Cloak, I haven't been a fan of Cloak since like season 1 or 2. She's just been getting like her ult is too easy to kill. And she's just really easy to dive. She just doesn't have enough value most of the time. Like as long as you wait out her heal bubble, she's pretty much dead.
Okay.
And her ult's really, really killable now.
All right, I like
definitely like with good timing.
Got one more question. So just to clarify, if we're dealing with a Spidey Angela combo, and we're having trouble,
yes,
we should simply dive better than them, and make sure our backline is sustainable with the meta picks that you just described, and what's an alternative to that, or I guess something that would kind of make that a bit more cohesive for us if
that's not working. Yeah. So you have 3 options. You either swap over to a dive and just kill their backline first. You play very heavy counter dive, and your 2 options would be like for double support, an Invis backline with either like a Bucky, or you have a bunch of options really. Hela, Phoenix are all fine. Or you can go over to the triple support option, which is like Mantis, Adam, Loki. Also, the best way to beat dive is to beat dive before they're set. Like, so for dive, a big thing for dive is their main thing is setup. Yeah, their main thing is setup. So they're going to have to set up. Their value is really low. Their value is really low. It peaks and then it drops right back down instantly. And they have to set up and their value peaks. And this is when they obviously their dive is like right here. Yeah. This is all setup time usually. Whereas like a nice, like even like a poke comp is constantly having pressure. Obviously, there's going to be spikes, but they're constantly having pressure, and it's not going to spike as heavy as dive. So the whole point is to when they're in their setup phase and trying to take space, take angles, you're going to have pretty good advantages. So if you can keep hitting them, they'll never get to be able to dive and hit that peak dive. Or at least if they do dive, it's going to be a lot weaker because you got to cooldowns, you got to health, whatever that may be. So if you can either poke them out while they're trying to set up or hit them before they're able to engage, that's also a really big way, just like play style wise, to beat dive.
Okay, that's interesting. Poke beats dive
if you hit them early enough, and you're proper... like on an open map.
Okay.
Okay, I don't want to be like poke beats dive.
Yeah,
like
no. Of course, there's a caveat. There's an asterisk there. They don't. There's make that.
But yeah, if you can, that's why I like open maps. Obviously, you can't just dive the whole time because poke characters have enough space to pressure you out. So if you're able to pressure dive out, even if you're not in a poke comp, even if you're on like a comp, like even like a Psylocke that holds like, even if you're on your own dive characters that, this is fine. We'll count this as a blank page. Even if you're on your own dive characters that, like let's say there's 3 lanes, if their dive is trying to push through here and you're able to like answer it, that's also answering their dive. Right. So like, let's say your character is, let's say like Psylocke with a snowflake, obviously she's going to beat pretty much 90% of people she's facing. So you're going to answer this dive, and now this dive obviously has to either back up, either has to wait, has to do a bunch of things that aren't hitting your back line. Also, let's say we have no one in this lane. This lane's completely open, but we have a Psylocke here. Your supports aren't going to be playing this space. Your supports are going to rotate over to this space because we know like our Psylocke, our Cap, whoever it may be, is clearing this off angle, that like this lane that's open. So then your supports have a lot more free space and they know they're safe over here. Mind you, but also it's a similar thing. That's for dive, you play closer. Mind you, let's say this is an open lane, like this is all open space, and we have no one covering this angle, and they have a Hela. If we don't have a Psylocke or a Cap marking this angle, their Hela is able to turn this corner and be able to pressure. Now Hela owns this lane, is able to pressure here. Right. So now you have 2 options. You either need to send someone to come clear this Hela off, or you need to know that you need to line of sight this space and play outside of it.
Makes sense. Okay.
So a lot of it, mind you, a lot of it's information game. You have to be scouting, knowing where people are, but it's also about putting your own, being preemptively like countering lanes, knowing like they have a Hela, she's going to want to play this angle. We need to make sure we mark this angle so our supports have more space. Holding lanes in space is mostly about denying, obviously, them angles and them pressure, so your supports have more room to work with.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, you can shoot me an @ in the server. Anything that's quick that comes up later.
For sure.
I appreciate you guys having me.
I appreciate you joining.
I appreciate you coming.
Thanks to you.
It's been extremely insightful.
Awesome. Cool. Have a good rest of your night, guys.
You as well, brother.
Bye.
You as well. Thank you.
You too. Thank you again.
All right.
That was a lot of good information.
I agree.